If you're interested in FIFA Mobile, I currently have a second channel where we run a FIFA Mobile Road to Glory, link down below. And if you need any coins for Ultimate Team to get a head start on the game, head to the link in the description. Use the code TVM for a discount at checkout. What is going on, guys? TVM here. Welcome back to a brand new video. We have the 85 rated Hector Bellerin, 15 games. Well, a bare minimum 15 games it is going to take you. I mean, in terms of the requirements themselves, of course, I think it's 30 goals, 20 assists. You need to win 15 matches. It's all in managerial masterpiece, which means you have to have a 77 rated team or lower with a max of 3 silvers. And of course, you have to assist from a cross in 4 separate matches and score a finesse in 6 separate matches. It is easier, yes, a bit boring, but it is easier to run a full Premier League team for this one, because you need to score goals with Prem players, crosses and what have you. You get an 85 rated Hector Bellerin at the end, which has had a decent upgrade. I'm not going to sit here and lie to you and say that the upgrade is insane, because it isn't. He's got up from an 80 rated to an 85. He's had 6 pace increase, 5 shooting increase, 6 passing, 7 dribbling, 6 defending and 9 physical. The physical boost is nice, don't get me wrong. That aggression and that stamina really do help a lot. The base Bellerin has 75 stamina and 72 aggression. Now 85 and 82. Much better, much better. And of course the composure's up by 6. Still low at 76, but it does make it a bit better. 3-star skills, 2-star weak foot. And, I mean, this can go either way, right? So the work rates, he's got a high attacking work rate, low defensive. That could be a brilliant thing, or it can be an absolute hindrance, right? So it depends on how you play. If you like attacking fullbacks, this is right up your street. If you love your fullback to stay back while attacking and you very rarely venture forward with them, this is a nightmare, because he has a high attacking work rate and just has no desire whatsoever, which is really strange for a defender, to come back and defend. So there are similar cards out there, and of course we're talking Kyle Walker, Semedo. I mean, even if you venture out of the Premier League, you know, Bruno Perez, for example, he can't finish. Bellerin can't finish. Their passing is equally as questionable. Their physical is equally as questionable as well. But they've both got pace, dribbling, and sort of reasonable defensive stats. Bellerin is much higher rated, though. That's the team that I played him in. Of course, it is all done in friendlies, because there is no way I am going into rivals and risking losing my skill rating, and of course because I still need to make sure that I finish rank 1, so I'm not going to risk it. So we go into friendlies, and as the only friendlies available right now are either Managerial Masterpiece or the Classic set, we are in Classic. So yeah, we're playing against people who want to play this game for fun, believe it or not. We are playing against the strangest of opponents. Now, I say that, I actually really enjoy the game. It could be because I've got a pretty decent team, but I actually really enjoy the gameplay when it decides to work properly. Bellerin is a very attack-minded fullback, and with that in mind, I used him while trying to break back lines, get around the outside, and, I mean, of course, sometimes I'm going to play it to him when I have other options, right? So there, would I have normally gone back to the fullback? Maybe, maybe not. Turns out it works quite well, really, because we do get an opportunity with Messi, or rather we get into a decent position with Messi. Figo then sorts out the defender, gets his shot off. It's not very good, but I am feeding it to Bellerin a little bit more, and I'm sending him on runs a little bit more than I normally would as well. And the reason for that is because he has a high attacking work rate. He's got 81 crossing, which, don't get me wrong, isn't fantastic, but still, it's a feature of the card. So I thought it would be rude, really, not to test out the attacking prowess of Hector Bellerin, because that's what the majority of people are going to be using this card for. Now, I'm fully aware that not everyone will want Hector Bellerin to attack. They'll want him to stay back. He is set to stay back while attacking. Every attack that he has is forced from me, because he has no desire to get forward. Now I've told him to stay back. He does edge a little bit, as you can imagine, but doesn't really, you know, bust a gut to get forward. When it comes to defending and coming back on defense, he's never really that far forward for him to have to track back. However, he does track back quite well when I've sent him forward manually. he's not going to bust a gut to get back without you controlling him because he's got a low defensive work rate. When he does get back there, I found that the strength was a bit of a problem because he doesn't have any. 66 strength, lean body type, and he's 5'10". It's an absolutely dreadful combination for things like that. Getting bullied off the ball by Marcus Rashford, you can't do anything about it. You have to hope that you can recover, get back in front of the striker, and stop them from progressing forward, essentially. Fortunately, the rest of the defence do that, and then Bellerin can get the ball out by running at the midfielders. But just note that I would say the biggest concern for me, really, is the fact that he doesn't have an awful lot of strength. It is very difficult for him to muscle in on wingers and get the ball off them. If he's playing against players who have, like Podence, for example, who, is very pacey, but doesn't have any strength whatsoever, I wouldn't worry about it. You'll be fine. If you're playing against Memphis Depay, on the other hand, you are going to struggle to get shoulder to shoulder, nick the ball. You can keep up with him. Sure, if he beats you, you can just run past him again and he'll have to beat you once more. But in terms of getting the ball off him, unless you go in for a standard block tackle or a slide tackle and you are lucky enough to... I say lucky enough, the defenders do get the rub of the green sometimes. So, you might be able to get the ball off him, but just note that the strength is probably my biggest and really my only concern. Not even that concerned about the work rates, to be honest, because they didn't really bother me too much. I thought they were going to. Thought they were going to be a big problem, but they weren't. So, it's fine. He misses out there, and Zaha's away, but he's fast enough to recover, and his jockey is unreal. And then a nice little block tackle, gets the ball back, spins round, and then plays it out to Kante, and we are away. And Virgil van Dijk does well there with good footwork, but Bellerin involved in getting it forward. He then goes on a run. We don't use him immediately because Messi is now going to use him with the overlap, kept on side wonderfully, and of all the people to drag it back to, it's Kante. The problem with, not with the card specifically, but with the objective itself, there's a few of them, right? So, it's another fullback. We have a lot of Premier League fullbacks already in this game that are very usable. You've got Kyle Walker, you've got Semedo, you've got Trent for the most part. What other players do you have? I just had one a second ago, and now all of a sudden I can't think of one. I'll get a list up. João Cancelo is one of them, but I'll get a list up while I talk about the next point. The other thing is, it's 15 wins, right? 15 wins, as well as scoring goal after goal, getting assist after assist, and doing some little things with crosses and finesse shots here and there. It's going to take a long time. So unless you're a Hector Bellerin fan, or an Arsenal fan specifically, I would say, this is going to take an awful lot of your time. So unless you really want to do it just for the sake of doing something, so if you have nothing to do Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and you just want to chip away at this just because there's nothing else to do, that's perfectly fine. Whatever you decide to do is perfectly fine, obviously, but you know what I mean? Chipping away at it in the off time that you have between rivals and weekend league, it's fine. There's nothing wrong with that. But if you are going after this and sacrificing maybe, time spent with family or watching certain things or doing something that you normally do, I honestly don't think it would be worth your time. It's a good card, don't get me wrong, but I don't know how long he'll be in your team for before you start thinking, well, he's maybe not good enough anymore. Maybe buying a Ricardo Pereira, Kyle Walker, Aaron Wan-Bissaka, for example, is a better way to go because Wan-Bissaka's 6k. João Cancelo is 3.5. Kyle Walker's very expensive. Ricardo Pereira is like 10k, maybe less. How much is Semedo these days? It's ones to watch is 150k. He's about 18,000 coins, Semedo. So you can buy that type of player, use them for a while, and then once an actual better card comes out, you can use that because Nelson Semedo has a little bit more in the way of strength. He's very pacey. He's relatively good on the ball. I just don't see that this is a huge upgrade to the cards that are already available on the market. If there was only maybe one or two choices for Premier League right-backs, fair enough. But there's not. There's at least 5 or 6. And then this adds to it again. You've got that new Kufal as well for West Ham, who's a decent option with great physicals, I might add. And he's only 11k. I like this Bellerin, I really do. But for 15 wins, which can take anywhere up to, 20, 25, 30 games, maybe even more? It's a lot of work for a player that isn't really an improvement over what is available right now, which is a shame. They should have either made him 87 rated, or they should have made the requirements maybe slightly less. I do love milestone objectives, or just objectives for cards like this in general, and I would love more of them, one a week or one every few days or something to give us more option, or even drop a player pick with 5 and we can pick which ones we want. That would be awesome. I just think unless you're an Arsenal fan, maybe stay clear, possibly. If you have enjoyed this player review, maybe you do agree or disagree, feel free to let me know. Subscribe to the channel if you're new, of course, and until the next time, goodbye.
Join the Betting Rebellion and find out what your football knowledge is really worth.